What's good, everyone? Welcome to Chatterbox Bearcats, the midweek edition, coming at you after a little hiatus. It had been quite some time since news had broken, and we get a bunch of Bearcats content all at once. Chuck Walter, Nick Niehaus, Eric Lilly. This is the three-man weave edition. On the show today, the Bearcats bust out their new $134 million football indoor practice facility. We'll discuss that. The Nebraska matchup coming up. I've already seen the Cornhusker faithful coming for the lowly Bearcats. Should be a fun one. We'll talk about that one. And then on the basketball side of things, we know who the Bearcats play home and away as the Big 12 schedule was released. It's Houston. It is, Lily, help me, West Virginia.
UCF.
And UCF. We got there eventually. That's why we did the three-man weave, plus the Dayton Flyers coming to Fifth Third Arena this season as a part of a 2-year home and home where the Bearcats will travel to Dayton the following season. All right, let's start with the indoor practice facility, fellas. For those of you that are listening to us on the audio podcast platform of your choice, this is a great time to tell you to check us out on YouTube because we give you video. And this is the $134 million state-of-the-art new practice facility that is a thing of beauty, Lily. You've been on this earth longer than Niehaus and myself. You've seen this campus when that spot was filled by literally nothing. And now looking at this, what emotions are struck up?
Man, when the bubble went up, I was like shocked about the bubble. Like, I was in school and we were just kind of getting into it with football. Like, I feel like 2005 is kind of when UC football really started growing. Obviously, there's some OGs around that were, bless their souls, were going to the games before that.
The Gino Gadulli era, yes. There were some people in the stands. I was not one of them.
Shout out Gino, yeah. You know, you had to have if you got basketball tickets, they made you get football tickets too, stuff like that. So then we had the bubble, and it felt like this huge transformational shift in the program, which it was. But then immediately we find out, like, hey, this isn't enough. Like, we're trying to get into the Power 4, the Power 5. And my God, I took a walk through this thing a month or two ago. Not since it's finished, but you can just it's insane. Great stuff. And like when we do away trips, me and my buddies, we try to like kind of snoop around and see the other team's facilities. And like when we were going to the Notre Dame game, we kind of poked our head into Notre Dame's, and it's right up there with that, probably better because it's newer. But we have a bunch of official visitors coming this weekend, and they are going to be impressed. That it's that simple.
Yeah, I've been into Auburn's. I've been into Kentucky's. It kind of compares to Kentucky's. They have a super nice one that's pretty new. Auburn's, the indoor facility was pretty sweet in terms of like the practice facility, but in terms of the actual amenities and everything that UC has, I think it may have been better than Auburn's. And then Tennessee's was kind of across the street. So Niehaus, I mean, you've seen some big-time stadiums yourself from your local TV days. Your thoughts on this beautiful state-of-the-art facility?
Well, two things that stand out is one, that it actually like stands out outside. Like when you're walking, in Clifton, it's beautiful on the outside. Like the design that they did exterior wise is awesome. So it just absolutely stands out, which is really cool. And what Lily kind of alluded to at the end with the official visits, what stands out is what this might do for recruiting. People kind of scoff at what us guys look at in terms of like what recruits like Lily's following everybody who follows everybody on social media in terms of the basketball portal, like, oh, this guy followed this guy on Instagram. It's like, this stuff matters. Like this indoor practice facility is going to do wonders for recruiting and only up the level for these high school kids who do care about this stuff, because guess what? They do. So, those are the two things that stand out for me when it comes to the IPF.
I go back to the campus. Let's go 15 years ago. Let's go even before that, 20 years ago, like 2005. I remember going there for I think it was a Moeller St. X state playoff game, opening round or second round. And I remember right where like Keystone is. Last time I was there, at least where Keystone is, it was just a giant parking lot leading all the way to Arby's and Papadino's. Like there was legit nothing there. And to see what that's turned into, and then how Vine has kind of been restructured over the years, and now to see this, I mean, Dan Horde put it best on what this facility does for your first impression.
I moved to Cincinnati roughly 30 years ago, and I can remember what used to be in this location. And by that, I don't mean the shakily indoor practice bubble, which was nice at the time. But before that, we would have all been standing or sitting in a parking lot on the side of a hill with a beat-up old maintenance garage nearby. That used to be your first impression of the University of Cincinnati campus if you drove onto campus on Corey Boulevard. Well, now imagine being a recruit, or the parent of a recruit, or an alum who hasn't been back to campus for many, many years, making that turn off Jefferson Avenue onto Corey Boulevard and seeing this. I picture it kind of like the Sam Neill character in the first Jurassic Park movie when he takes off his glasses and he looks up with awe because he's seeing a dinosaur for the first time.
Dan Horde, always with the great references. That's why we love him, the longtime voice of the Bearcats with the soundbite there. But, I mean, he said it best. It transforms everything, and that is why we need a big season from Satterfield and the fellas, because the energy that let's bring 30,000 faithful fans to travel across state lines to go to South Bend and flood their stadium with red like the Georgia Bulldogs did a few years prior. That type of energy, I promise you, it's completely gone. I've done these post-game shows after every single one for the last couple of years, football and basketball, and there's a ton of apathy, Lily.
Oh, it's not me. I'm going crazy in the upper deck there, Chuck. But yeah, it's there. And this is sort of like a new like honeymoon period, even though like fans don't get to go in and the games aren't played there, but it is a reset. And if we hit the ground running this year and surprise people, you know, I'd say surprise would be what, eight or more wins. It will kind of reset things. Big opportunity for Satterfield this year to like kind of win everybody back. And, you know, they're in position to do that. We'll see what happens though.
Niehaus, you see our friend Brendel's talking a bunch of shit to the Nebraska fans. The war has already started. How many months are we before that game? How did Nebraska fans find Chad and start getting into it with him? It's always entertaining stuff.
I actually didn't see that, but I was just looking up the ESPN schedule right now. We are the only Power 4 matchup on that Thursday, and we're the 5th game of the season. So Lily's been like texting us the whole offseason since basketball ended. He's like, I really think this matchup with Nebraska can be massive and like can really move the needle. So yeah, I need to get on Twitter more. I've been off a little bit, but I'd love to see the Nebraska chirp on that end. So I'm excited. I mean, it's a massive game for a lot of reasons, and obviously we retained our superstars. So I think we can do it, right? Like I don't know how shocking of a win that would be.
The fun
that TV slot is massive.
Yeah,
like massive.
It's in Kansas City, obviously at Arrowhead. It's funny because some of the chirp that's going on between the Cats fans, and it's Twitter, right? You don't get a full pulse of a massive fan base like both of these fan bases by just a few Twitter comments here and there. But it's funny that the Cats fans that are trying to argue with Nebraska fans, like your program sucks. And they're just like national championships, overall record, like wins, power conference years, like every single metric is skewed towards Nebraska in that way. But Nebraska sucks. I mean, lately, at least they have. So like you said, Niehaus, I don't think that it would be some statement win. It would feel like a win during the like Butch Jones, Brian Kelly era where we would beat the Purdue's of the world and the Illinois and some of those teams. But maybe Nebraska is projected to be better than that next year. Lily.
Now they're going to be in our mentions,
really
man.
Into it. What's up?
Now they're going to be in our mentions. Yeah, I think they're like top 35. like
I
fringe top
just gave them
25.
respect. I mean, I guess I did say they sucked, but they have history. They're like UC basketball, man.
But they have baby Mahomes, you know, Taylor Swift might be there with Travis Kelce. This is a main event, guys.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I mean, I think it definitely moves the needle, and it's pretty much a standalone. Like, there's some other games. I mean, Boise State, South Florida, does that move the needle in that time slot?
Are
Like,
they supposed to be good, Lily? Nebraska? I mean, I would guess what, 7 wins, 8 wins?
I think their total is probably 7.5.
So yeah, they're solid. They're projected to be better than us.
Yeah,
We're
better
gonna
than
be-
ours.
We're going to be dogs. That is for sure. Even the most biased of Bearcats fans can probably realize that we have to prove our worth this season. I don't think Scott Satterfield and the boys are going into the season with a target on their backs by any means. So, Dayton, they're coming to Fifth Third Arena this year, part of a home and home where the Bearcats will travel to UD Arena the following season. It's been a minute since the Flyers have come to Cincinnati. Last time was actually the NIT, where Deontay Vaughn scored, I think, 28 in that game. Lance Stevenson had like 13. The Cats shot at 33% from the floor and like 15% from deep, and Dayton blew them out pretty good. Prior to that, Dayton also beat UC at Fifth Third Arena. It was Andy Kennedy's season, Cats' first loss of the year. James White wasn't enough to get it done. Hicks didn't have a great game. But aside from that, it's been neutral for a long time. Lily, what are your thoughts on this game heading back to campuses? Dayton's a pretty fun place to go to if you're a collegiate student or if you're an alum. And they got a great arena, quite frankly, for being a mid-major.
I'm excited. I love the home and homes. Like, this is going to sound crazy because I've been to so many, like me and my buddies, we like to go to road games for football and basketball ever since we were in college.
Were you at Butler? Did you go to Hinkle?
Yep. Fun trip.
Probably
We
saw
lost,
there.
but it's just part of sports, you know, like
Ubers
one
to
of our
get back to
most
Indianapolis were a damn nightmare after that game.
I would
dude.
love to do another Butler thing. I thought
It
that
was
awesome.
fun, but we tried to hop in an Uber and it was legit like $220 to get back to Indianapolis. So we ended up going to a little Pinot bar and just drinking bottles, literally just drinking out of the bottle of wine until Ubers got down to $30.
This is the stuff that happens when you play home and homes, right? Like, this is the stories like that.
Memories are made, man. You're right.
Yeah. And we had a night in Bowling Green, and it was awesome when we played Bowling Green in basketball.
Was that the game where the
nice.
broadcasters were
yes,
the Howard level? Okay.
Yep. And every single person in UC's section had like at least $100 on the spread. Like, it was crazy. Like, multiple rows were talking about it because the spread was just out of whack that night. Great game, fun stuff. I want more home and homes regionally. Like, give me an IU game.
How
My whole
long have
life,
you
I've
been doing that?
Since I've been doing away games,
Yeah.
the bowl games in college, like
Because I
Bowl,
wonder,
Bowl.
like back in the, I remember when UC played Kentucky at the RCA Dome. It felt like they're, and probably because it was after an Illinois game and all the Illinois fans were rooting for UC. But I remember UC having like a huge contingent of fans there. Even Ohio State, like the Greg Oden year when they played, I think in Indianapolis as well. Like there was good travel there. I mean, UC had a good crowd at Butler. But have you felt like the fan support over the years has kind of dwindled to where there are some road games that you go to and you're like, I'm the only Cats fan here?
Yeah, when we went to Kansas City for that like neutral, it was like Illinois. I forget the other two teams.
Arkansas.
Kansas State and Arkansas, I think, maybe before we were in the Big 12. Yeah, because Kansas State fans were there like shaking our hands, like, welcome to the league. And we had like 30 people. It's a little out of our range, you know, Kansas City. So let's play a football game there. But like when we played at Tulane, we had a huge crowd. It was awesome. Like that New Orleans, I went to Tulane a couple times and great crowd, fun stuff. But the Big 12 is a little weird with like nobody's going to Lubbock. No one went to Ames. Me and my buddy Thane.
Craziest night of your life will happen in Lubbock, Lily. I promise you that.
So yeah, it's like we're in the Big 12 now. So these out of conference games are imperative to like give us some stuff to do. Like I don't want to go to US Bank and every year. And like that could be a home and home. I cannot wait to go to Dayton
Dayton's
next
just
year.
all house parties, man, though, from what I remember. And you can't be going to one of those. So you're gonna have to go downtown
too old for
one of
that.
the
Yeah,
bars
yeah.
close to where the Dragons play. Niehaus, I know that Nashville was at the bottom of your list for road trips. You did not get any roadkill that day. In fact, you were the roadkill in Nashville. I'm good to see you, by the way.
Yeah.
It was rough. Do you have a favorite memory of a road game you've been to? And hop in the comments on YouTube if you have something good.
I mean, honestly, me and Lily both went separately to Boulder this year, and that was a lot of fun. Although the game was not fun at all. It was the trip to Boulder, but I think it's funny. I feel like we got to cross off the fan bases that we're trying to get in the mentions. Like we got Nebraska, Texas Tech. What's next? I mean, what other school can we absolutely
Xavier sucks.
Yeah, just cross them off the list. But no, Boulder was awesome this year. But I'm with Lily. Like the US Bank, like I didn't go to the game either year. We don't even have to worry about Dayton outnumbering us in our own city, so that's nice. But I'm glad as a season ticket holder that I get to finally go to the game, because I was like, I'm not spending money to go to get some RC Cola at Heritage Bank. Now I'll probably go to the at Dayton game. So it's a win. I don't care if it's a quad 3 game. If they're bad this year, I don't care. Like at least it's Dayton and not, I don't know, like name any
Stetson.
low major school. Yeah, exactly.
Did you see getting an indoor practice facility and FC Cincinnati existing before US Bank Arena has been renovated? It's just mind blowing to me. Like mind blowing to me. That place is such an eyesore.
It's got to get taken down at some point. Like the seats are terrible. There's nothing.
There's
like,
no redeeming quality except for location. Like if that was a state-of-the-art arena right there on the water, like the KFC Yum Center, it'd be so damn cool.
I think there was even a concert last year that nobody could get in until like 30 minutes after it started. So it's just all around. I don't want to go there.
Train wreck, to say the least. Let's talk about the basketball schedule. UC getting home and aways with Houston, West Virginia. So 2 big rivalries in the conference. And then I guess you consider UCF a rival. I don't in basketball, although there is the wrinkle this year where we stole their best player and their assistant coach. So, by the way, I saw a UC alum over the weekend in Atlanta, and it took me about a day and a half of hanging out with him all day before I remembered we stole Chom from him. And he said he's good, but he was like, sometimes he's got bad hands is what he said. And he's like, if you guys are relying on Chom being your savior, you're going to have a new head coach. So just from his mouth, he is a little salty. He was pissed we took him. So take it for what it's worth.
Look, that he's just salty. There's no other way around it. Chom's going to be a superstar. He's probably going first round in the draft. Going to be, first team all Big 12. No, I'm just kidding. But the thing that I like about the home and away, which he might be, Lily, I saw your face. He might be all those things, but I'm just not getting ahead of myself. Anyway, the thing I like about the home and aways is like Houston, getting a good shot at Houston. Like I look at that and I'm like, at what point are we going to see Houston on the schedule and not just write it off as a loss? Like, is this the year where we do have the roster, we do have the talent to compete with Houston? Like they have owned us and they have owned Wes Miller. It's been a few years since we've actually beaten them, right? Like that is what I'm most excited about, is getting Houston at home, which sounds crazy because like at this point you can just chalk it up as a loss until we've been proven otherwise.
I'm not excited about playing Houston at home. That's my thing.
I hear you. Like, I get it. I get that.
No, it's good. I think it'd be cool if we played them home and away every year. But, Big 12 is going to Big 12. They got rid of Kansas State. They got rid of Farmageddon in basketball. Like, come on, get your shit together.
Run through that schedule for me, who we have at home and who we have away. If you have it up.
So we got our home schedule. Like, seriously, we got to run through this shit, guys. Like, this is the easiest home schedule you could possibly have in the Big 12. We play Colorado, Oklahoma State, Utah. Those are must wins. We also have West Virginia, must win. UCF, must win. Those are the 5 easiest home games you can have. Then you have BYU, AJ Dabansa, great for season ticket holders. The BYU hype train, that could be a primetime game if they're humming.
What's he projected to go? Is he top 3? I mean, I guess Boozer's probably up there in that class.
He's top
Abaev's
3.
got to be top 3, right?
It's Darren Peterson, Boozer, and
And Abaev.
and Dibanza, and then Abaev could be right there, right? Of course.
Top 4.
And then and then we also have Iowa State at home, which last time didn't go too hot, and Baylor. So Dan Skillings Jr. will be in Fifth Third Arena. And for UCF, we play away at UCF. Chom is going to play his team on the road. Sincere Harris is going to play at West Virginia. Kirk Reese is going to play at West Virginia and at Arizona. We have a bunch of stuff going on here. So we do play at Kansas, Arizona, and Texas Tech. Ooh. So good news, easy home schedule. Bad news is that means
some tough ones on the road. Niehaus, that segues us into the mailbag. You got one that pertains to the Baylor Bears. Take it away.
Yeah. Well, first, we need to schedule Kentucky just to get the Kirk Reese revenge tour completed.
That'd be great.
If we beat all 3 of those teams, that would be amazing. But
bring them down to US Bank Arena.
Yeah.
Preseason exhibition versus the Estonian national team, possibly.
That's pretty good. Yeah, mailbag time. So Bearcat Nut, which home conference game are you most excited for? And which away conference game are you most excited for? It says answer for both football and basketball, but just give me one each. Which home, either football or basketball, or one away football or basketball, are you guys most excited for?
I'll go first because I know the schedule better than Chuck. I got home. I'm going to say BYU. I know everyone else is going to say Baylor probably, but I'm a big NBA guy. Excited to see, when I was in school and we had the prime Big East days, seeing those prospects in person was just so cool. Tons of people are watching. You can kind of just see how much different they are than normal college players. So I'm excited to see BYU. And then on the road, I'm just going to say Kansas every time. Playing at Kansas is cool. I'm going to try to make it there this year. I didn't last time. And then for football, are we counting Nebraska as a home game?
You can. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to count it as a away game. I'm just excited to see that game. It's a huge game. I grew up on Colorado, Nebraska. It's one of my favorite rivalries. Sounds a little obscure probably to younger people, but I just remember watching it every year as a kid, and I liked both teams. So when the COVID hit and canceled the trip to Lincoln, I was devastated. That was like a bucket list road game for me. So unfortunately, it'll be an Arrowhead. And then home, I don't know, Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the Colorado shout there. That's what you're saying, right? Colorado?
The Colorado, we don't play Colorado in football, but the Colorado-Nebraska rivalry makes me want to see us play Nebraska. Yeah. If you're going to make me answer the question, I'm going to say at Kansas if you want me to follow the rules because they're debuting their new stadium.
I was going to say.
Conference game, yeah.
I thought you were saying Colorado on the road, and I was like, didn't we play them on the road last year? You just said you went on the trip, so absolutely. Let's go football. Home, it's got to be Iowa State. They've just beaten the hell out of us in every sport since joining the Big 12, and they got a good fan base too, and they talk a lot of shit. So I'd love to beat them bad. And that Iowa State game was kind of where things went south for Satterfield. I mean, I guess Miami was technically, but the Cats looked pretty good against Oklahoma in that first Big 12 game. And I remember people sliding into our comments saying, "Welcome to the Big 12. You guys are going to be just fine. You fought hard with the Sooners." And then, the rest of the season wasn't so great. Road game. I mean, oh God. I guess I go with TCU. I don't know. None of them really excite me.
Cool jerseys.
TCU, Utah, Oklahoma State, Kansas. Yeah, none of those games excite me. So, we'll go with
You
TCU.
see why I took Nebraska.
And that was football. So hoops, who you got, Chuck?
Hoops,
have
I'm
looked at the
going
hoops?
with away Arizona. I think it'll be cool to play in Tucson. And then home, I will go. I don't want to go BYU. I want to be a contrarian here. So we'll go with Baylor, the return of Dan Skillings. I'm interested to see what kind of the reception is.
I'll just rattle mine off. I'll just go basketball, honestly. Well, no, I'll give you a football answer. I'll just say Nebraska for the home game, just because I do think that win can mean something to start off the season. And the road game, Utah, because I have high hopes that I could possibly visit Utah. Like, that'd be a cool road trip, I feel like. Home for basketball, I already said it, but Houston. Like, I think Houston's obviously going to be amazing this year. And I just like the fact that we're going to have these sort of teams in Fifth Third Arena again. I know we've already had it for a couple of years and we didn't win many games last year with these good teams, but I like the challenge. I like the shot. I think, again, we have a good team. I'm not going to say anything crazy in June, but that's my answer there. Away game, Kansas, because hopefully it's a weekend game and hopefully I can go. I think I'm already getting texts like, Kansas, we're going, like, if it's a weekend game. So both of mine are hopeful, contingent on me actually traveling to these games. So next up on the mailbag, speaking of Baylor, Chuck, this one's from Jizzle James Enthusiast. Will you be booing Dan Skillings on his return to Fifth Third Arena? I know Lily's answer. I already know it. Chuck, what about you?
No, I'm not a boo the players kind of guy. I go after the coaches, man. I go after the coaches 1000%. When it comes to Dan, no, I mean, he had a great sophomore year. He was one of Wes's first guys. It didn't work out this season for him, but it didn't work out with any of the players. And he left in admirable fashion, I thought, considering he was playing pretty hard in the Crown and playing his best basketball against Oklahoma State in the Big 12 tournament. And yeah, I would never boo the guy by any means, but I get he probably will be booed. And I quite frankly don't hate Baylor like I do other teams around the country / in the Big 12. If he went to like Xavier and came back for the shootout, oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But
Holy shit.
I won't be partaking in any booing of Dan Skillings in his return game. I'll give him a golf clap. I'll give him a golf clap and I'll say, good to have you back. Hope you're in a better spot.
I was actually kind of shocked at the amount of people saying were gonna boo him or that he's gonna get booed, because like I feel like I would be more inclined to boo him if he was a first team all Big 12 player this year and he left us for Baylor. Like,
my thing is, if you knew him as like a
boo.
student, if you had like classes with him or whatever, and he, it was something along that line, it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
You're in college, you see him on campus, whatever. As a grown man, like I'd feel a little weird booing Dan.
That's
Skillings,
true. That's a good
be
point.
honest with you.
I will not be. I don't think he should be booed because I mean, it was not.
I don't really
working.
boo.
No.
I'm not a big. I mean, I'll boo the refs from time to time, but I'm usually too tense at these games to even speak. Like I'm just frozen there. Just
yeah. Well, I booed. I booed a lot this year. I was definitely booing. So, but Lily, what about you? I already know your answer, but you have to speak on it.
I only boo refs, and I love it. It's great. Love booing refs. But your point about like, if I ever did boo a player, it would be a scenario where like you should have stayed. Like, why are you leaving? Like, I'm sorry. Everyone knows Dan. His time was up, and I don't think he quit. So I'm not booing him.
No.
I'll sit there with my beer and
golf claps.
Yeah, I'm not gonna golf clap either. But
Did either of you guys ever sit in the old Shoemaker Center like corner sections that looked like you were sitting there and the Pope was, you were the Pope as the players walked by like waving to him? Do you remember those things? You ever sit in those?
Oh yeah, those are great.
How much do you think those tickets costed for like the shootout? Like $8 or something? I mean, those seats were brutal, man.
The setup now is significantly better. What they did with Fifth Third, honestly, all the construction they've done on campus, it seems to be amazing. Like no complaints here.
Honestly, though,
Yeah,
I sat
wait
in the
till we start
rafters,
winning
like that
home
top
games.
row I sat in the rafters, top row at old Fifth Third Shoemaker Center, and the upper deck was so damn big. You'd walk up there and you'd be like, "Good God, this upper deck is huge," and it was so steep and so high. I remember watching a few games up in the top. Don't ask me how my mom was that cheap to where she was getting us the seats up there. But I could see through the rafters. I don't know what everyone was complaining about. I mean, walking up to go down to your seats it'll never not be interesting. But, and the TVs from 1996 and 2015 was also it's like, dude, TVs are like $90. They're the only things that haven't appreciated. Like, go ahead and get a TV.
Not to derail the combo here, but like my group, I have a group chat with my longest standing Bearcats group chat where we like just consistently talk about how much we miss that crappy arena. Like, I just wish like once a year we could teleport back and play a game in that. It was crappy though, but like I had good vision. You know, me and Chuck, we were younger. We could see the court from up there, but imagine like being like in your 50s, 60s, you're losing your eyesight. It's probably pretty shitty up there.
Yeah, and the thing is they towards the end of it, they weren't. I mean, last season, yes, but like middle of the 2000s, 2007 through 2015, they were rarely selling out that place, minus like Xavier and one big name Big East team a year. But there was consistently like 9,000, 10,000 in there, and it still got really loud, man. When there was 13K in there, like there was one of the last games against Xavier, the Troy Copain shot game, like that place was probably louder than Chase Center gets for like a Warriors playoff game. Like it was up there. I mean, it was freaking loud, man.
We got a couple questions left. Cord 741 said, does completing the indoor practice facility give us a meaningful boost in recruiting? Also, he says, I don't know how booster funding works, but does that completed IPF free up money that can now be given to the NIL fund? Lily, I assume that's a yes for both.
Yes, it will help recruiting. Probably in sports that most fans don't care about too. Like there's going to be multiple teams using it. And then football, I think it's going to help us really land the guys we want, you know, those 3 stars. I don't think we're going to like see this jump to – we would get an occasional 4-star under Fickle, and I don't think that's going to happen until we win games is how I'm going to say that, because I think our current strategy right now with NIL is to spend money on players who are going to play, which is smart. We're operating how we should. But the 4 stars want money and they're not going to play. We're just not going to play that ball game till
we're a portal program right now.
Yeah. We're just not going to play that ball game till we have program momentum.
Portal program and diamond in the rough.
But it can help us get the guys we want, the 3 stars, you know.
It's got to help in the portal, I assume, right, Chuck? Like even non-high school kids like this stuff. Doesn't just end.
Oh, for sure. And I've been hearing some rumors that the Cats may have some new football jerseys coming out to some degree. I'm thinking for those of you watch on YouTube, you see the black and red color scheme. We got to go back to that, man. And I'm talking basketball too. Like the black jerseys and the white blocks, they're great. But the black jerseys and the red blocks, man. I feel like there was a Steve Logan team that was rocking those. But it's hard to envision it, but it would be beautiful.
I've heard similar things, Chuck. Like that BSN deal ends on June 30th. Are there 30 or 31 days in June? You guys know?
I'm not a month.
It ends on June 30th
or
June 31st, whichever.
30th.
Okay, yeah. The BSN deal ends on June 30th. So something could happen around July 1st involving jerseys. It would make tons of sense, right? And
I saw a new font
noticed on Twitter. Yeah, that if you look at the locker room, if you see that number above the locker, that might mean something. Possibly.
I would say probably.
Cryptic Lily. All right,
Yeah.
Niehaus, any more in the mailbag?
Yeah, just last one for this upcoming football season, the ceiling, the floor, and reality. Chuck, what about you? You're the Satterfield guy on the program.
I mean,
That's
what
your
other
brand.
choice? What other choice do I have, man? Ceiling, national champions? No. I mean, ceiling to be pretty good, right? They got a quarterback. They got an elite tight end. They brought in some playmakers. They have a few home run threats that we saw last year, specifically Evan Pryor. So, I mean, we'll see what the defense does, how the line is incorporated with some key departures. And I mean, Satterfield's been someone before that can win 8 games, not much more, 8, 9. So ceiling will go 9. And then floor, I think it's 5. I don't think we lose more games than we did last year. I mean, Lily just told you the schedule that we have. I told you the schedule that we have. Our road games are sheesh. They're not great by any means. So, yeah, I'd go with reality being 7. I think we can win 7 games.
And just for people who aren't aware, the over under in Vegas is 6.5. So what Chuck's saying is spot on. He's an expert, college football expert. And for floor, I'm agreeing with 5. I think, the pessimist would say 4. I think we're better, and the schedule is a little nice. I was diving in some Chat GPT stuff for the first time. I know Chuck's big on this stuff, and I uploaded the Big 12 schedule and tiered the teams how I think they are. So, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Arizona State is my tier 1. Not going to run through all this. And I sent a query: who has the hardest schedule? Who plays the most tier 1 teams? Home and away, Big 12. Let's hear it. Cincinnati is the only team that plays 0 of my tier 1 teams. Now, we saw last year that it's a crapshoot, right? This really doesn't mean anything. But if Texas Tech, Kansas State,
could win 11 games, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And I do like TCU, and we play them at TCU in December. So I think our ceiling's Arlington. I'm going to say 10 wins. I just think we have the talent.
Arlington, would that be a fun trip?
Yeah. Have you ever been to Arlington as a Cincinnati fan?
Yeah.
I hope you did. Okay.
Yeah, and everyone was wearing scarves there instead of cowboy hats. That's why we lost.
Unbelievable. But we play Arizona, Oklahoma State, UCF. Those are 3 of the worst teams in the league. We get Iowa State at home. They lost their wide receivers to the NFL. This is a semi-favorable schedule. We get BYU at home. If we played there, that's a loss. But, at Utah is kind of that too. So I'm going to say 10 wins is the ceiling. Most likely 7. I really think we can do 8, though. Like, I think that's realistic, 8.
I'm just going to follow you, Lily. Whatever you say, I'm on board with you. You seem to know what you're talking about. So let's say 10 wins for the ceiling. I don't know. I'm not.
Niehaus, I feel like for someone that goes to every single football game, because you were there for that just atrocity that was TCU, the last game of the season. I feel like how many beers do you have before these games?
It's a social event.
You go into these shows and you're like, who's even on the Cats anymore? I went to every game.
I'm pretty sure that was Kansas State. Was that? I can't even remember. I don't even know.
Yeah, it was TCU.
But it was TCU. It was in the freezing cold, right? But Lily,
purple snow.
10 wins, Lily. Sure. The reality question is funny because you go on Twitter and everybody's like 7 wins, 7 wins, 7 wins. Everybody says 7 wins. I'm like, when did 7 wins become like the actual norm here? Like, it seems like everybody thinks it's going to be 7 wins. So 7 wins. I'm going with it. I'm just
that Vegas line, man.
It is, but I guess that's a successful season. It's pretty sad that is.
No,
but it's not. It's not. But that seems, reality. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope this is used against us. Like, give us 8 to 10. That'd be great. Floor, I don't know. I mean, there's only 2 gimmies, right? Like, it's Bowling Green, Northwestern State. You got to win. You got to actually win them. I mean, this is a current administration that lost to Miami, Ohio. So I don't know.
That's right. No more Red Hawks.
Yeah. You could argue that the floor is Bowling Green, Northwestern State, UCF, Arizona. Like, you could argue 4.
4. I was going to say 4. Yeah. I was going to say 4. That wraps it up for me, Chuck.
All right. Watch out for the fighting.
Bowling Green is coached by Eddie George, by the way, guys, for people who didn't know. Eddie George is coaching Bowling Green starting this year. So that'll be kind of cool. Yep.
Eddie, how are you? Lorenzo Neals told me some great stories about Eddie George. You want to hear him on the air?
I'm in if you think it's good.
Sure.
I believe it was, and maybe this is escaped me over the years, but when he was a player for the Tennessee Titans, Eddie George got Lorenzo Neal like a steak dinner for his birthday or something along those lines, or whatever it was. And then a bunch of rookies came in, and for their birthdays, he bought them like four-wheelers. He's like, I want a four-wheeler. What are you doing? Get me a steak dinner. And there was something involved in there too that I can't say, but just know that it's good stuff for those of you that see me off the air. Anyways,
Tune
this is
into the
Chatterbox
Bowling Green
Bearcats.
post game for that story.
Yeah, have a few garage beers and we go from there. Chatterbox Bearcats, find us on YouTube, wherever you get your audio podcasts. We appreciate everyone for tuning in today, and we will see you hopefully very soon to talk some more Bearcats football and basketball.